Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Super Duper Late Morning Show, titled The Super Duper Late Morning Show. Broadcast every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, but not Saturday because you know my rule, no work on Saturday. I'm your favorite cowboy for the day, Fedora Donovan Zung, here to bring you news from all over the world. Thank you so much for wasting 10 minutes of your life watching my show today. Now, in today's episode, we will discuss the industrial parks in a small town named Baotang, which have garnered quite a lot of controversy over the past few years for their mishandling of certain environmental aspects throughout their production practices. Throughout the episode, we will feature talks with world-renowned experts who will discuss the matter at length with a view to gaining a much better understanding surrounding the situation. Now, first of all, we will contact our beloved reporter Ling Dan, who will give us an overview surrounding the situation right now, right there in Baotang.
These days, air pollution has become one of the most significant and severe issues in Laogai province, especially in some industrial areas. This problem is getting even worse and worse, namely Tang Loong Industrial Area, which is located in Baotang district. This industrial park comprises over 30 factories, manufacturing facilities, and specializes in producing minerals, metals, and other building materials. According to the locals inhabiting the nearby zone surrounding the industrial area, ever since the facilities went into use, there has been constant and never-ending smoke rising from the place and flowing to the housing area. As a consequence, the locals have been suffering from acute problems brought about, affecting both their health and their agricultural activities. Having to tackle the issues, there has been several attempts at extreme measures taken by the local government and residents. Nevertheless, their efforts soon proved to be ineffective at eradicating or alleviating the problem. Many residents have been forced to reluctantly sell their agricultural crops and land to move to another area to practically avoid the situation. Still, the smoke discharge from these factories shows no signs of slowing down.
Industrialization has turned the seemingly simple life in Baotang area into a toxic health where we have to eke out our life every day in fear of numerous health matters. It can be said that our life has been turned upside down. My 35-year-old brother was diagnosed with lung cancer due to the noxious clouds that spread the nightmare and the knife of death to our necks ever since the problem broke out.
Wow, that was so intense, am I right? Moving on. With me now are Quỳnh Anh and Quế Chi, scientists of Stanford University, who will delve into what exactly causes the problem in the first place. So welcome to the show, ladies.
To get into the bottom of the situation, we must grasp the contributors to the story. The reasons responsible for these issues are abundant, but first of all, we must mention that the industrial park was not synchronously planned from the beginning. In the process of development, it continues to expand gradually but does not particularly take heed to certain measures in order to ensure environmental safety for people. The sulfur spilling on the road from transportation of chemical manufacturers makes the environment in Tang Loong harmful to dwellers' health. Dozens of smoke columns from the phosphorus factories are releasing smoke into the environment day and night, causing a burning smell or a pungent smell of toxic chemicals.
The industrial waste management, in addition to the large scale of the industrial zone, contributes to the problem as they haven't been properly invested and paid attention to. To illustrate, the system of wastewater collection and drainage system is not complete, so every time the rain falls, wastewater from the industrial park overflows through the residential cluster, dumping into the fields, leaving a negative impact on the life and production of local people. If that isn't enough, factories are built hazardously close to the residential areas. Some households are only 100 to 200 meters away, even though the bare minimum according to regulation is 1,000 meters from the factory fence.
Thank you for the information. Now we have the lovely trio, the three Bucketeer, Guangming, Haidang, and Tiandat, who will help us understand the extent of damage the issue has caused to the surrounding environment. So welcome to the show, guys!
The industrial zone can ascribe to a number of serious impacts on the local area, including, first, one of the most apparent consequences is that the water contaminated by its reaction with chemicals or metals is then drained into streams, resulting in polluted water sources that imperil the locals' health and agricultural productivity.
Next, a number of pollutants like gas and smoke discharged by manufacturers reduce air quality and lead to adverse living conditions for humans and even plants. Moreover, harmful industrial practices like burning coal can release pollutants that cause respiratory and cardiovascular diseases in humans and threaten ecosystems around the industrial zone. Furthermore, huge volumes of organic substances such as carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons released into the air as a result of industrial processes partly contribute to the greenhouse effect, which is the principal cause of climate change.
Industrialization had turned the seemingly simple life in this Baotang area into a toxic hell where we have to eke out our life every day in fear of numerous health matters. It can be said that our life had turned upside down. My 35 years old brother was diagnosed with lung cancer due to the nauseous clouds that spread the nightmare and the knife of death to our necks ever since this problem broke out.
Not just the land, but humans are also vulnerable to severe impact of local industrial park. Not only physical health, but also mental health will be affected by the enormous volume of noise. The mechanical pneumatic drills, saws, rotating bell, etc. can create intolerably high levels of sound that can irritate the public and especially workers in these engineering companies or metalworking factories.
I'm really irritated with the current situation where my parents' crop fields are contaminated with the waste released by the nearby manufactories, leading to the condition that crops are on the point of being unable to grow, and plants are gradually dying. This will decrease the productivity of the harvest season. Now, I'm very bothered and I expect that the governors will bring out some solution to tackle this problem in order to protect and assist us in the agriculture again. But I can see that this day the fields have been destroyed a lot, which make it now as not green as before when I was younger back then.
Thank you so much for your excellent insight. Now, Guk Chi and Dan Fung, famous biologists from Harvard University, will present us some measures that can be taken to prevent the situation from escalating. So, good morning, ladies.
Industrial activities will be placed under close scrutiny and enterprises will be kept intact to ensure all procedures are followed. If a violation takes place, the responsible parties will be heavily charged and their eligibility for further activities will be reconsidered. Additionally, the number of industrial parks that are neither beneficial to the daily needs of the population nor safe to the environment will be minimized and the construction of these facilities will be discouraged. Finally, taking a lesson about environmental impacts will be mandatory for all business owners in order to raise awareness and responsibility.
Fortunately, the government has taken notice of this problem and many measures to combat it are already in effect. The government has invested in the construction of a 4,000 cubic meter regulating reservoir and a 6,000 cubic meter emergency response reservoir as well as pumping stations to circulate water to the existing station of the industrial zone. With these developments, all surface wastewater will be concentrated in the wastewater treatment plant for treatment before being discharged into the environment. An automatic emission and wastewater monitoring system will also be implemented, making sure that no harmful chemicals get discharged into the environment during the treatment process.
Thank you for the information. And what would Okay, I regret to tell you that we have to wrap this up right now because our producer told me that we have simply run out of time. So remember to tune in for tomorrow's episode where we will discuss racism in Vietnam. Now, this is a super duper late morning show. I am your host, Fedora Donovan Zung. Thank you and have a good day. See you.